Hey guys, it's Demi Boy Gay Gaming here. Um I honestly I have a bit of a problem. Um I feel really dysphoric and I've been going through this for a while in my life, but lately it's been a lot harder for me. Um a week ago I really tried to self-actualize my demi-boyness, but at this point I'm not sure that I'm even comfortable being a boy. I took a trans test on my last video, and when I took it, I got the email sent to me, and the email said I was trans, and it said that I needed help. And I really thought about that. Ever since I was really young, I've looked in the mirror and not felt like I see myself. It's been really painful going through what I go through, and I just don't know how I could ever feel accepted if I were to, but I think I need to actually transition. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I really do think that that's in the line for me. Without transitioning, I'm not sure I'm gonna have a future that I'm comfortable with. At the very least, I definitely identify with being a demi-boy because it's kind of a safety net. Like, I can boy mode, I guess, and pretend it's still myself. But I don't like boy moding. I don't like any of that, and I really just want to be myself. It really hurts. Every day lately has been really hard for me since I found out that I'm trans from the test result. It's been about 12 hours or something, and in those 12 hours I've really struggled, and I just don't know what I'm gonna do. But other than that, there's also been just whenever I wear boy clothes, I just feel really uncomfortable. For about a week now, I've been exclusively girl moding in private, and when I'm out, it's, I'm wearing pastel colors and stuff, so I do really look feminine, and I have really long hair, so I don't know, it's starting to really get to me that I'm not even attached to being a boy at all, and that it actually kind of hurts to feel like a boy at all. And so I don't know, but I think my future is gonna have to be as a woman, and I'm proud of that. I spoke to my sister about it, and basically Demigirl Lesbian Gaming is my sister, by the way, and she's really sweet. But she didn't seem to understand me at first. She was saying I was just being kind of whiny and kind of just overthinking my pain, and that it probably wasn't true, but she said this thing about how basically this dysphoria is kind of a painful lag spike I go through, I guess, and I just need to reset and do more stuff in my life. But I spent some time with her, and she started kind of thinking about it and going more and more in the direction of understanding me as a girl more than a boy. And I mean, that sort of has been how it is, but she sort of really treated it like it was serious for once, and eventually she kind of looked at me and went, I see it in you. And then she told me I should let my actual identity just take over. She really wants me to she said I look like a confused gamer boy who's a complete nerd, and I don't even look like I understand why I dress like that or feel anything for it. And I was like, yeah, I know. And so it just became a whole thing where she started to kind of push this whole thing on me, about I need to have like this little act with her where I touch my tower. Like you know what I'm saying when I say that, but I started talking to her and she told me to touch my tower and do it in front of her. And she made fun of me because it was small, but then she said that it's good because I'm a girl, and that made me really happy. And then she started like physically pulling me closer to her and demanding it, which was really overwhelming, but she was doing it to comfort me. And at the end, after I let it out, she said that I was a real queen, and she was just, I don't know, it was really overwhelming. But then there was this whole thing where she started comforting me and just telling me that I need to move into the next phase of my life where I finally give myself my identity. And I don't know what to feel because she told me that she could get me on estrogen. And I felt that was really sweet, but I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to do right now. But it felt much better than I felt anywhere else in the past while, honestly. It was really like, at this point, I mean, there was a point where after I let it out, she basically said like, the biggest issue is that I'm incomplete in my mind, and that really like transitioning isn't even a choice, it's just a required objective for me at this point. And that like all my identity and passion really needs like a home, and I just can't be Demi anymore because it's making my real identity be homeless because I'm blocking out my real feelings. And then she said like it's genuinely like I have to live the reality of who I am, and it's what I was always meant to be. I've always felt totally off, and she could see it, and I completely agree. And you know, she told me she would be there for me, and that I could shed off my shell and crack my egg. I guess she did crack my egg. It was really yeah. And yeah. And by the end of it, it was just a whole thing where I had to commit. And then she made me show her my tower again. She wanted me to show her that the real queen is finally here. So it actually was like kind of, I felt pressured maybe for a bit of it because she did say like either I transition or I just I'm never really gonna be happy. And I was like, yeah, actually I agree. So I don't know, but yeah, it's been really overwhelming, and I don't know, but I just know that Demi-Pro lesbian gaming will make it better for me. That's all. So yeah, it's been really exhausting, and my dysphoria is really bad for the past couple weeks. But I'm trying, and I think eventually I'm gonna be able to become myself, because you know, when I was younger, my parents told me that like me being all feminine was just gonna be a phase, but I don't think that that's true anymore. So I'm just ready to leave it behind and just become a girl. But I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll be a demi girl, but we'll have to see. There was this thing I did when I was a little younger where I vented about my dysphoria. I think I'm gonna just play that video now. I talked about how I felt back then, and I feel the same way now, if not more. I think everything's gonna work out.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to fucking say that this entire existence is really fucking miserable. People keep telling me oh, everything's just gonna end up fine, oh, it's gonna be okay. But if you really think about it, I've been sitting here boy moding for I think 7 years now, and I've been aware that I'm not like other boys since I was fucking 4 years old. I was the kid that painted his nails. And it wasn't because I was I wanted to be a girl. That isn't some medical grift where it's just you're bullshit. No, that shit's real. And it's so bad that to this day, all I think about is just suicide, because I cannot stand the way that I'm developing. I cannot stand what's happening to me. I don't want to be what I'm becoming. And I've isolated myself in my room deliberately for years, and the entire reason is just because I want to finally come out the other end and make a decision. I don't feel like I could be safe talking to my family, not because I don't think they'd be supportive, but more because them knowing would jeopardize my ability to really get any support from them. So I'm kind of trapped in a situation where I don't think I could ever really get anything. I really feel like it's just kind of a dead end, where the moment that anyone knows that I'm trans is the moment that I lose my entire life. It's the moment that I lose my future. And I'm gonna be 18 in under a year. It's not it's very daunting. I don't really think about that too often though. People don't really, at least I don't, when I think of myself, understand that in under a year I'm gonna have to actually go through with all this. I'm gonna have to get on HRT. I'm gonna have to become a girl and seriously take that real and not boy mode anymore. And I that's a really tough decision to make. I only have basically 9 months to do this, or at least to live in this isolated hellhole that I've been. And I've hated every second of it, but at the same time I cling to it, knowing that the other end of this is not as good as people are making it out. I can't ever tell Via any of this stuff. I can't ever tell Butter any of this stuff, at least honestly. None of my friends, I don't think they could ever know. Honestly, that shit would be torture. And so I'm just sitting here secretly fucking isolating myself, turning myself into this fake persona online, all because internally I just want to be something that I'm unable to be at the moment. It's fucking torture. It's fucking torture. I don't like having to live this anymore, and I just wish that I could escape. These people, I'll vent to them about other things, and I'll just try to hide the fact that really deep down it's just gender dysphoria and stuff of that nature that's actually affecting me. And when I do, I don't think they really understand, because they always tell me oh, everything will be good. Everything will just be good. And obviously they're calling me by the name I use online, which is not a name I prefer. It's just a name that I've grown accustomed to. It's not my real name, which makes it feel a little bit better, but it's still not a good name. It's not like I want to be this. They'll tell me all will be good. And it's just no, it won't be. How could anything be good in this life with everything that I have to deal with my future being the way it will have to be? Do you think it's easy being this way? It's not. Especially in these years where you're really isolated and you can't do anything about it. I don't have even a real life where at least I can have some level of support. I'm just trapped being this and having no way out. And I feel unworthy of everything that I just want to be and have always wanted to be since I was a little kid, and I've always just continued to feel unworthy. It's trapping me even further, and I isolate myself even more as a result. Every day I'm just wearing a fucking hoodie and just wishing I looked, the way I've always wanted to look, and it's torture. I hate it so much. For fuck's sake, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is a really cool Minecraft Let's Play. Yeah, bye guys.